Today I've built a simple photo styling tool. You click the button and it changes the picture's border to a random color like you see here. Despite the fact that it relies on a third-party JavaScript library, I wrote it entirely in Ruby. A common concern developers face when writing Opal apps is the perceived inability to work within the JavaScript ecosystem. Today we'll learn how to interface Ruby and JavaScript so that you can take advantage of both languages. How would it be possible to use JavaScript libraries in Ruby? Let's find out. The main dependency in this example is please.js. It gives you the ability to generate color palettes and random colors that look nice. This is the method I'm concerned with today, but we're going to import the whole library since there's no added performance cost. Today we'll be building a static app with no backend server. If you're completely unfamiliar with how to build a browser app in Ruby, consider pausing this video and watching episode 5. We cover that in detail in that episode, and it'll give you a good start on what we're doing in this one. The only external dependencies for this project are Opal and Opal jQuery. Like always, you need to install them by running the command bundle install from the terminal. I build the JavaScript code from Ruby with the rake task seen here. I'm compiling everything in the app directory via the rake build command, and I'm putting it into a file called build.js. I will require this file at the bottom of the index.html file, which is right here. Now let's write our client-side Ruby code. Code is loaded using the standard Ruby require statement. We will need jQuery and the Opal runtime environment in our use case. Just like with a traditional jQuery application, we'll need to tie into the DOM ready event so that the code does not execute before the page is finished loading. The method you see here is part of the Opal jQuery gem. Now we need to manipulate the DOM. jQuery Opal selectors access the DOM using the document.find method. In this case, I'm grabbing the first button on the page. Next, I attach an event listener that will listen for clicks. When we get a click, we're going to fire this method, but it hasn't been written yet. Let's do that now. Until now, we've been staying mostly in the Ruby world. The only libraries I've used were already in gem format. Now I need to utilize a JavaScript library so we can grab random colors. To write inline JavaScript in Opal, you could use backticks. CoffeeScript users may note the similarity. I could also write what is known as an X string, which automatically returns a value instead of writing the JavaScript code inline. Both work, but I can't take advantage of Ruby syntax by doing that. To get the most out of Ruby language features, I must pass the JavaScript object to a method called native. Native is a way to convert an entire JavaScript object to a Ruby object, instead of just converting one JavaScript expression. Here's an example. One more thing I'd like to point out is that you can also convert Ruby constructs back into JavaScript objects as well. You can do this with a method called toN. Let's take a look at this example here, where I convert a Ruby lambda into a JavaScript function. So when I run this code, I'm going to get an alert box, and it's going to show the JavaScript source code of what was originally a Ruby lambda. Let's try it out. And there you go. We've converted a lambda into a JavaScript function. Okay, back to the source code. We still need to Rubify our library. When you're using native, you want to make sure you require it. And then I can import the library from the JavaScript world using a call to the native function. Now I can call please like any other Ruby object and use it to generate a hex color cleanly. Then I can construct a CSS style out of a string, And lastly, I can apply it to the image tag as an inline style. You see right here I call the .adder method, which is going to apply our string to the style attribute of the image tag. I think we're done here. As stated previously, I need to compile the source using the rake build command. Let's give the app one last look to make sure that it worked. And it did, so now our app is complete. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed today's lesson, consider subscribing to the DataMelon newsletter to get Opal-related content every 2 weeks. Questions are always welcome in the comments. Thanks again. We'll see you next week.